Shalom, Kohalayim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. All right, and today's lesson is entitled The Second Death and Those Not Written in the Book of Life. All right, which is talking about 2/3 of our people of the nation of Israel, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, which are predestined for destruction. All right. The ones that are written in the book of life is the elect, which have been predestined for salvation and deliverance in these latter end days that we're living in, all right, the time of prophecy. All right. And of course, what gave me the inspiration to do this lesson is through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, through the Holy Spirit. And I was watching the Elder Apostle Gabar, which he did a lesson yesterday dealing with the lake of fire. All right. And after I got done watching that lesson, the spirit compelled me to do a lesson of my own, dealing with the second death, which the reason why it's called the second death is because the first death was by way of the flood, all right, going into Noah's time. All right. Let me go ahead and get that in 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. All right, you can go into Genesis as well. But it says, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness. All right, so Noah was a righteous man. All right, he was given a command through faith, and he built that ark. All right, while everybody was, living it up, do as thy will, spirit. All right. Just like it says in, Matthew or Luke, just as in the days of Noah and the days of Lot. All right. They were eating, they were marrying, they were drinking. All right. But you had the righteous men that were moved in fear and had faith to do the right thing. And Noah was one of those righteous men. OK, and during his time, he was counted as the elect, the remnant. And, everybody else perished. OK, it says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, a wave greater than a drop. All right, that's how much people are going to die in these perilous times that we're coming into. All right, Jacob's trouble. OK, which I'm going to get in a brief second because, yeah, that's a beautiful precept. All right, let me get verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that should live ungodly. Okay. And Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone. All right, just as well as the 3 other cities. Why? Because of the different abominations that were going on during that time period. And you see America, which is known as Babylon the Great. All right, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, imitating the same wicked conversation, acts, deeds, mannerism, everything that happened back then. They're doing it now, but worse. The scriptures say there's no new thing under the sun. All right, so you had those spirits back then, here today, committing all type of abomination. So what do you think the Lord is going to do to America in 1 hour? Just like it says in Revelation 18th chapter. Okay, and now it's going to go into another righteous man and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. And we're just like Lot. We're vexed that we're living in a wicked society. We feel dirty. We feel disgusted by the things that we see, the people that we work near each and every day. You know, we're praying for a few days, hoping that we're a part of that number, because the destruction that the Lord is about to bring upon this place is going to be like a time like never before. Again, let me get Daniel chapter 12. Okay. And it says the time of the end. Okay. We're currently at the end of Esau's age, his rulership. Okay. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the signs, the tokens are evident that we're in these latter end days. Because look what's going on. You got uproars of the people, rumors of wars, famine that's going on. I mean, the MOTB is a big indicator that we're close to the end, because that's part of Esau's NWO agenda. That's going to be his centerpiece. But like the scriptures say, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty. All right, so we're in the time of the end. The end of all things is at hand. All right, Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. That's dealing with Israel. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. All right, so you could take all the horrific acts that was done to us as a nation, and it still wouldn't compare to the time period that we're coming into. We can't even fathom on it. Michael the archangel is going to have to come down and literally help us. We're going to have some type of angelic support to get us through these times that we're coming into. Spiritual power. I mean, you name it. We're going to have to depend on the Lord wholeheartedly. The names Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai through faith. And it says, and at that same Salakia, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Okay? Thy people are Israel, the Lord's chosen, but it's going to specify even more after this point. It says, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Okay, that's the elect. All right, it's not talking about all people, all the nation of Israel. It said 2 parts shall be cut off and die. All right, that's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which are predestined for destruction. Okay. So now let me go back to Revelation 20, verse 14. And I got a few precepts and, nothing long or whatever. But it says, verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Now, let me pause real quick. There's no such thing as a place called hell. Okay, it's a fable. Okay, there's not a place where you burn for eternity. Okay, spirits don't burn. That's number one, man. That's a fable, and it's not biblical at all. All right. And it says this is the second death. Okay, the second death is the ICBM missiles, 200 million missiles that's going to be shot upon this place, destroying this place in 1 hour. And Lord's will, I give Revelation 9 in a second. And it says, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life, that's 2/3 of our people, was cast into the lake of fire. That's their reward, their wages. Okay. Ultimately, they loved, being comfortable in Egypt. They wanted to stay in Egypt. That's what happened in the wilderness. You had 2/3 of our people then that was complaining, that was murmuring against the Lord, wishing that they had the fish and the cucumbers and everything else. And the Lord was showing us all type of wonders, signs that he was with us. But still, you had 2/3 of our people that wanted to go back to Egypt, worship the wicked ass idols, so on and so forth. And the Lord done away with, 2/3 of our people back then. And the Lord's going to do the same thing now. Only, I want to say, Joshua and Caleb, and a few others, got to make it in the promised land. Okay. No, I think I got Revelation 9. Yeah, let me get Revelation 9. And then I'm going to get my other precepts, and then I'm going to close out. All right, Revelation chapter 9, verse 15. And it says, and the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, Salakia, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of man. All right. And that's dealing with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Because you have 3 classes of men: the sons of God, which are the Israelites. All right. The sons of men, which is dealing with the heathens, and the sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites. Okay. And it says, and the number of the army of the horsemen. Okay. Like the scriptures say, the Lord of hosts. The Lord has many armies. One of them being the ICBM missiles, as the Apostle John is describing in a vision that he received while he was on the Isle of Patmos. Okay. That word vision means to see. And he was seeing, or foreseeing, meaning to see ahead, a future event that's going to take place. He saw the destruction of America that happened in 1 hour. Okay, but back to my point, the Lord has many armies, the missiles, the chariots. I mean, you name it. Okay. And it says the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Okay, so that's 200 million missiles. There's 50 states. You do the math. That's 4 million missiles per state. Overkill. And it says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. Okay. So, to bring that precept out, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 11. It says, he that have an ear, let him hear. All right. He that understands, let him listen, to this message. Okay. What the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt shall not be hurt of the second death. All right, let me get a different translation. Go on to NLT. Hold on. Did I already pass it or something? Okay, well, I did pass it. It says, anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Spirit and understand what he is saying to the churches. Whoever is victorious will not be harmed by the second death. All right. And the ones that are going to be victorious at the end of the day is the elect. All right. And they're going to get their victory through our Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, as it says in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. or when we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye at the last trump. Okay? The ones that are going to overcome everything is the elect. He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay? And I got one more precept. Well, actually, two more. Okay. All right. Revelation 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Lord. All right. So 7 is completion. All right. And plagues, we name some of them. You know, the missiles. All right. The chariots. All right. Zechariah 14, verse 12 comes to mind. All right. Who shall consume the flesh? What is it? Zechariah 5, the flying roll, the curse. Okay. Curse is another word for plague. And it says, and I saw as they were a sea of glass mingled with fire. Okay. That's dealing with, you know, in the chariots. Okay. In the chariots. That fire is dealing with the missiles. Okay. And them that had gotten a victory over the beast, which is NATO and the EU. Okay. In his image, which is this ancient Roman Empire, this beast infrastructure. And over his mark, which you already know, brothers, you know, that are in GMS and like-minded brothers know what that is. The subdermal implant. And over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Lord, and they sing the song of Moses, their servant of the Lord, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Okay, and then I got one more precept. Revelation 11, verse 12. And it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, all right, which is the chariots. Okay. The elect were getting beamed up into the chariots. All right. That's going to be our deliverance. Lord willing, would be a part of that number. And it says, in the same hour, there was a great earthquake. So you had two things going on. You had deliverance and you had destruction going on. The elect were getting beamed up. All right, pursuant to Matthew 24. All right. And it says in the same hour was there a great earthquake. Okay, talking about the missiles. And the 10th part of the city fell. All right, these 10 Salakia, these 10 FEMA zones, which make up, you know, the whole thing of Babylon the Great. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. So a complete number of men were slain by the nuclear destruction that's about to come upon this place. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Lord of heaven. All right. So the remnant being the elect were scarcely saved by the skin of their teeth. Again, you know, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. But, you know, that's pretty much all I got, you know, through the spirit. Dealing with, you know, the second death and the ones not written in the book of life. All right. We want to be, Lord willing, those men that are written in the book of life. You know, Lord willing, you know, your brothers and few sisters were edified, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And, you know, just keep fighting the good fight of faith, man. You know, just keep being diligent. You know, no matter how hard things may get, you know, in this walk, because we're almost at the end. And, you know, that applies to myself first and foremost. So with that, I say shalom.